So you've done it all. You've checked off every box on the travel influencer's bucket list, and now the thrill is gone. The airport lounges feel emptier. The excitement of boarding passes has faded, and you're left wondering, what's next? Bali, Italy, the whole curated hashtag blessed travel circuit. You've posed in front of every famous landmark, sipped overpriced lattes in crowded piazzas, and watched your likes roll in. But deep down, you know you're just following the same well-trodden path as everyone else. But you're craving something real, something raw, maybe even a little dangerous. You want a story that can't be captured in a filtered selfie, a memory that lingers long after the vacation glow fades. Welcome to the ghost towns of Ukraine, where the only infinity pool is a puddle of glowing rainwater. Here, the landscape is more post-apocalyptic than picturesque, and every step feels like an adventure into the unknown. Forget room service. Here, the only thing knocking on your door is the wind, or maybe a mutant squirrel. The silence is broken only by the rustle of overgrown weeds or the distant call of wildlife reclaiming the ruins. The cuisine? Dust with a side of Cold War paranoia. If you're lucky, you might find a can of Soviet-era beans. Expiration date classified. This is authenticity at its most extreme. A place so off the beaten path, even Google Maps gets nervous. The roads disappear, the signs are faded, and your sense of direction is your only guide. No Wi-Fi, no crowds, just you and the eerie silence of a city abandoned by time. It's a digital detox whether you want it or not, and the only notifications you'll get are the echoes of your own footsteps. It's the anti-vacation for those who think the Bahamas needs more existential dread. Here, the only thing more chilling than the breeze is the realization that you're truly alone. While your friends post beach selfies, you'll be posting shots of your feet in radioactive puddles. Your feed will be a surreal gallery of decay and adventure, guaranteed to spark curiosity and maybe a little concern. Sure, the Bahamas is more fun, but you'll have the better story. One with Geiger counters and gas masks. You'll trade sunburns for stories of survival, and poolside cocktails for tales of radioactive rain. So pack your hazmat suit and some snacks. Don't forget a flashlight, a sense of humor, and maybe a guidebook on post-apocalyptic etiquette. We're heading to places where the only thing more haunting than the scenery is the silence. Every empty street tells a story, every shadow hides a secret. We'll explore urban decay, laugh at invisible dangers, and maybe question if that creek was the wind or a Soviet ghost. It's a journey for the brave, the curious, and the slightly unhinged. Forget finding yourself. This is about losing yourself in the radioactive heart of Eastern Europe. Here, you don't just visit history, you walk through its ruins. Your Instagram feed is about to get a lot weirder. Get ready for likes, questions, and maybe a few worried messages from your mom. Ready? Let's go where even the squirrels wear hazmat suits. Adventure awaits. Just don't forget your Geiger counter. First stop, Pripyat, the Beyonce of abandoned cities. Built for Chernobyl's workers, it was a model Soviet city until one minor accident in 1986 made it unlivable for, 24,000 years. Now it's an open-air museum of failure where nature is winning and silence is king. No crowds, no lines, just you, your guide, and the crunch of glass underfoot. Moss carpets the square, trees burst through gym floors, and every building is a photo op in Soviet chic. The main attraction? The sheer scale of abandonment. It's a powerful reminder. Nature always reclaims, and safety protocols matter. Your tour guide will point out radioactive hotspots. Not nightclubs, but places where your Geiger counter screams. The experience? Awe, a sense of history, and maybe a metallic taste in your mouth. Don't worry, they say that's normal. It's interactive, unforgettable, and just a little bit risky. You only live once, probably. Welcome to the world's quietest theme park. Now the star attraction, Pripyat's Ferris wheel. It's the world's most famous ride that never actually turned, a symbol recognized by urban explorers and history buffs everywhere. Scheduled to open just days after the disaster, it stands frozen in time, a rusting monument to lost joy and what could have been. Its yellow gondolas dangle in the wind, untouched for decades, a silent witness to the day everything changed. You can't ride it, unless you're craving a dose of radiation and a crash course in structural failure. The warnings aren't just for show. This is one ride you definitely don't want to test. Still, everyone wants that moody photo in front of it, pondering existence, or maybe just wondering if their dosimeter is broken. It's become a rite of passage for visitors, a must-have shot for every Instagram feed. Local legends swirl around the wheel, ghostly laughter echoing at night, shadowy figures glimpsed between the trees, and the occasional scrap metal thief who vanishes as quickly as they appear. But the real horror? Tourists arranging creepy dolls and gas masks for photos, turning tragedy into a bizarre art project. It's unsettling, and somehow it's become part of the experience. It's a paradox. Immense sadness meets cliché tourist behavior. People come searching for meaning, but often leave with only a selfie and a shiver. Selfie sticks at a funeral, just with more radiation. The dark humor is hard to ignore, and yet it's everywhere. The ghosts here aren't just from the past, but from modern tourism itself. Every blurred figure is a reminder of how we process tragedy in the age of social media. But hey, at least there are no lines, no waiting, no tickets, just you and the echoes of history. The Ferris wheel is a symbol, joy interrupted, history frozen, a memory that refuses to fade away. It's haunting, iconic, and a little absurd. The silence is almost deafening, broken only by the wind and the distant click of a camera. Take your photo, feel the weight of history pressing down, and move on, quickly, before the reality of it all sinks in. In Pripyat, even the rides are reminders that some things are better left untouched, preserved as they are, frozen in a moment of time. Welcome to the world's most exclusive amusement park, where the only ticket you need is curiosity and the memories will last a lifetime. Time for a travel dilemma: Vatican crowds or Pripyat's radioactive silence. In Rome, you battle tourists for a glimpse of art, pay too much for water, and leave with resentment. The reward? Beauty and exhaustion. In Pripyat, you get entire city blocks to yourself. The danger? Invisible radiation, not pickpockets. Your guide becomes your lifeline, steering you away from spicy moss and glowing puddles. The reward? Haunting photos and a new appreciation for lead-lined underwear. So what's worse? The agony of over-tourism or the thrill of nuclear tourism? One drains your spirit, the other tingles your chromosomes. Do you want to fight crowds for masterpieces or have a masterpiece of decay all to yourself? Choose wisely. Your holiday stories and maybe your DNA depend on it. Sometimes the best adventures are the ones nobody else wants. Welcome to the ultimate travel trade-off. If Pripyat is the blockbuster, Kahan is the indie film nobody's seen. Built in the 1980s for a mining project that never happened, Kahan was abandoned before it ever lived. Imagine a brand new suburb where nobody ever moved in. Just empty buildings and silence. No toys, no memories, just concrete and wind. It's unsettling, a blank slate slowly erased by nature. Walking Kahan feels less tragic, more like a bureaucratic error. You wander through identical apartments, schools with unused blackboards, and halls that never echoed with life. It's sterile, eerie, and profoundly empty. Compared to Tokyo's sensory overload, Kahan is a deprivation tank. The only sounds are wind and the occasional clatter of loose metal. Tokyo shows what humanity can build. Kahan shows what happens when we just stop. It's the ultimate destination for minimalists and lovers of architectural silence. Here, emptiness isn't just a feeling. It's the main attraction. If you want to experience the world's quietest suburb, Kahan is waiting. Just don't expect a welcome committee. The strangest thing about Kahan? It's been picked clean, literally. No looters took TVs or furniture, there was none to begin with. Instead, people took the town itself. Windows, doors, pipes, wiring, anything that could be sold. The buildings are skeletons stripped bare by scavengers. Walk inside and you might find missing walls or staircases that end in mid-air. It's like a Soviet Escher drawing, but with more exposed rebar and danger. Local legends aren't about ghosts, but scavengers who still haunt the ruins at night. The real fear? Running into someone who doesn't want to be seen. Kahan isn't frozen in time, it's being slowly erased by necessity. Pripyat was stopped by disaster. Kahan is being eaten by poverty. It's a time-lapse of entropy, both fascinating and sad. Here, decay isn't just natural, it's intentional. Visiting Kahan is witnessing a town being unbuilt, piece by piece. The ghosts here are human, and they're still at work. Time for another travel choice, corporate team-building retreat, or a day in Kahan's ruins. At the retreat, you're stuck with trust falls, name tags, and forced fun with Brenda from accounting. The danger? Death by boredom or office politics. The reward? Maybe keeping your job. In Kahan, there are no trust falls, just the risk of falling through a missing floor. The silence is absolute, broken only by your own nervous footsteps. The danger? Physical injury and existential dread. The reward? True solitude and a crash course in emptiness. So which misery do you choose? Awkward icebreakers or the honest desolation of a concrete skeleton? At least in Kahan, the only thing judging you is the wind. Our last stop, Pulaski, the town that wouldn't give up until it had to. After Chernobyl, Pulaski wasn't evacuated right away. Residents tried to keep life normal in a radioactive world. The town died slowly, evacuated in stages through the 1990s as reality set in. Walk its streets and you'll see calendars from 1995, newspapers from 1992, a place that fought to survive. Unlike Pripyat's concrete, Pulaski is rustic wooden houses collapsing, gardens gone wild, fire trucks gathering dust. The textile factory, once the town's heart, is now a silent shell. The strangest part, the Samozli, elderly residents who refuse to leave, living out their days in radioactive peace. They chose their homes over safety, becoming the true ghosts of the zone. Today, only a handful remain, stubborn spirits in a world that moved on. Pulaski is a testament to human resilience and denial. Here the past lingers, stubborn and silent. So should you go? Is this the kind of journey you're ready for? Or is it better left to the imagination? Imagine trading your beach towel for a dosimeter and swapping your margarita for bottled water as you wander through haunting, overgrown ruins. If you crave comfort, room service, and reliable Wi-Fi, you might want to stick to Hawaii or another classic getaway. But if you find beauty in decay, and if you're drawn to the stories that echo in silence, the zone could be calling your name. This isn't just a vacation, it's an experience that lingers in your mind long after the dust has settled and the silence has faded. Your Instagram followers might not understand, and your photos may leave them puzzled, but that's not really the point. This isn't a trip for their gram, it's a journey for you, a chance to reflect and connect with something deeper. Here, you'll confront big ideas about time, the power of nature, and the fragility of civilization itself. It's a living history lesson you can walk through. Just remember not to breathe too deeply near the moss, and always be aware of your surroundings. My advice? Go, but go with respect, curiosity, and a knowledgeable guide who can help you understand what you're seeing. Don't be a disaster tourism cliche. Leave the dolls at home and treat every site with the reverence it deserves. See the beauty, feel the silence, and come back with a story that's truly worth telling, one that's yours alone. You'll return wiser, more contemplative, and hopefully with all your limbs, and maybe a new perspective on the world. For the traveler who's seen it all, this is what comes after it all ends, a place where history and mystery meet. Welcome to the ultimate adventure. If you dare to step into the unknown and embrace the extraordinary.